Afternoon, Hammer Nation. I'm sure y'all saw the press conference today with the lawyers for the prosecution and lawyers for the defense for Rex Harriman. I just want to say this. I just feel sorry for the lady. And you saw inside of that house, it looked messed up and ransacked. Okay? Sorry. It looked ransacked, all the boxes and everything. But the cops said it was all cluttered when they got in there. I'm just asking a question. Why didn't the family notice what he was doing? He must have hid it very well. Just, saying, honey, I got 200, almost 300 guns in my basement. Didn't she look in that basement? Or did he have the key to the basement so she wouldn't go in there looking at all those guns? That's what I want to know, man. But nobody showed up for court today for Harriman. It was just his lawyers. And, the prosecution spoke first, so I will play that right now. Yeah, so the prosecution spoke first in front of the media. I hope you all saw that. And, it's just, they have to still sort out all that evidence. The defense didn't get much of anything except for those discs that they got from the prosecution. So, so let's just see what the prosecution had to say outside of court. Okay. Next hearing press conference. Okay. Excuse me. Let me see what the prosecution had to say. Okay. 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 Okay, here it is. Just a minute. Breaking news. In New York State, we have a very extensive discovery statute, which we are endeavoring to comply with the work of the Court and Defense Counsel. This is a 13-year case, so as you saw, we have a great deal of information, evidence, photographs, reports to provide to the defense counsel. We've begun that process. I think it was 8 gigabytes of material, which is a tremendous amount. And that's just the beginning. We're going to continue to do that on a rolling basis. And, these, this case, the charge of the indictment are just allegations.
Being labeled the prime suspect in the process of CNN's Grand Jake Grass outside the courthouse in Riverhead, New York, where Harriman's made his appearance. Ray, tell us what happened in court.
Yeah, I think it was a short hearing for discovery. Harriman was there wearing khaki pants, a suit jacket, and was handcuffed. He didn't say anything to the judge, just spoke to his attorney when they had a little bit of a conversation. But this, again, was just handing over discovery, handing over evidence in the next process of this case. And the district attorney here describing it as a tremendous amount of evidence. It includes 2,500 pages of evidence that they collected at numerous locations, including crime scene photos, autopsy and DNA reports from the medical examiner's office, as well as surveillance video of not just Harriman, but one of the motels allegedly where President Huerman, according to the district attorney's office. I want you to hear from the district attorney as well as Huerman's attorney who spoke after this hearing.
This is a 13-year case, so as you saw, we have a great deal of information, evidence, photographs, reports to provide to the defense counsel. We've begun that process.
At this point in time, I can't tell you what defects, if any, are in any of their evidence because I haven't seen it. What has my client told me? He told me he didn't do this.
Yeah, Michael Brown, Huerman's attorney, says he's met with his client several times while Huerman remains behind bars, again maintaining that he didn't do this. He also said he's going to be adding more staff just to go through all of this evidence, and the next court date is going to be about next month, Jake.
And Brandon, Huerman's estranged wife, soon to be ex-wife, one presumes, told the New York Post that investigators left her Long Island home on a rec interview as they looked for evidence. How is Huerman's family handling this shocking news?
Yeah, well, just that, Jake. She says she's still somewhat in shock. She and her two children that she shared with Huerman have been visiting that home and trying to, as they describe it, get their life sort of back together to some sort of normalcy, piecing together what investigators took, what they didn't take, and she kind of said to the New York Post, this is all I've got, is this house. So it does seem that she has somewhat distanced herself from her husband in the sense that she hasn't visited him in jail, but we do know they have been communicating. But certainly she's someone that investigators are continuing to talk to as they continue this process. And this
All right, Bridget Grass, Riverhead, New York for us. Thank you so much. Joining us now to discuss CNN legal analyst and criminal defense.
Yeah, well, he's in deep doo-doo,
The
man.
judge issued a protective order which would prohibit the release of copies of the evidence in this case. Is that normal?
It's quite normal, Jake. It's normal because you want to protect any potential witnesses or anybody else, right? The fact is that attorneys need to evaluate the discovery. It's the essence of the case. What does that discovery say? That, of course, is the information provided by prosecutors, which they believe prosecutors to establish the defendant's guilt. That information needs to be protected. There needs to have the integrity. No one should be intimidated. No one should be threatened, or no one at all should be approached or contacted by anyone relating to the defense counsel really to evaluate, oversee that information to ensure and understand that it needs to be in their care so that there are no issues moving forward with respect to the defendant intimidating or reaching out to anyone.
So the prosecutors are talking a big game here. They're talking about how many pages of evidence they have. How much do you take their claims at face value versus how much do you think that this might not actually necessarily be the slam dunk that they're suggesting it might be?
It's so early to tell, and that's the whole essence of discovery, right? You can have a press conference, as they have. You can have voluminous information within a document, which was their bail application, 32 pages, noting triangulation for cell phones, noting data with regard to what they have to identify individuals who live there and the victims. The case had allegedly his hands, noting all types of information which pinpoint him. Now it's incumbent upon any defense attorney to assemble a team to evaluate everything, to assemble experts, to look at DNA, to establish whether or not there's a connection, to look at hair fibers, to look at any shred of evidence, to look at any witnesses who are identified, not to the actual killings, of course, but just giving information about the defendant, what's their credibility like, what's their veracity like. So there'll be a lot of challenges. And before that discovery is turned over and looked at in all detail, and before experts evaluate everything, it's too early to say that this is a slam dunk case. Certainly prosecutors believe the evidence is compelling, but that'll be up to a careful assessment and evaluation of that evidence to determine whether or not that suggestion by the prosecution is actually valid, credible, and true.
Joey, what kind of arguments do you think Huerman's defense should be making?
I'm sorry, Jay.
What kind of arguments do you think Huerman's defense team should be making?
I think they're going to make a whole assortment of arguments. I think the argument, first of all, will be let me have the discovery and let me have all of it. I think once they do that, they'll have any motions to challenge any evidence. Although we may hear about evidence in public, doesn't mean they won't be moving by the defense to preclude that evidence so it never sees the light of day. They will argue about any expert testimony. They will talk about self-triangulation to be junk science. They will look at DNA and say, hey, it may be DNA, but perhaps it's not his, perhaps there's a valid reason as to why it's there, etc. There'll be a whole assortment of arguments that the defense will make to challenge the evidence to go to show that it just was not their client who did this. We're ways away from that. This will develop, and we'll learn more as it goes forward.
All right, thanks, Joey. Appreciate it. Just into CNN, an update on a different 2020 related investigation. The Michigan Attorney General has brought criminal
Okay, so
charges
you
to
know,
prominent Republicans
this is sad, man.
access and seize voting machines.
How did you? Hey, this is Harriman. Why didn't you find out all them guns your husband had in there? Okay, that's the thing I want to think. Why didn't you realize that your husband had all that, like 300 guns? Okay, man, I think did he have to? I guess he only had the lock and key to that basement where he had all them guns there, Harriman Nation. You know.
We're talking about a massive amount of material.
So we're hearing from the prosecution about this.
We receive tips on all cases at all times. We take those serious and we work through them, but we maintain the confidentiality of the investigation up until the time of the discharge. It was basically what I just what I just spoke to you all about, which was.
Why didn't you see all them guns you had there, man? Didn't you smell death in your house there? You know?
It has to be done in a way that makes sense for the defense. It also makes sense for us as well, so they can understand what they get, and we're able to catalog and identify what exactly is. So the investigation is continuing, but once that investigation is concluded, that investigation is over.
Okay, we heard from the prosecution. Now we're going to hear from Harriman's lawyer. If y'all want me to play Harriman's lawyer, here's what Harriman's lawyer had to say. Michael Brown, defense lawyer. Michael Brown, defense. Rex Harriman's lawyer. Okay. Rex Harriman lawyer press conference. Okay, here you go. Here's what his lawyer had to say. Yeah, here's what his lawyer had to say, Hammer Nation guys. No plea deal. If I was him, I'd do a plea deal, man. Good. I wouldn't do no flea. I would do a flea deal.
You know, most of the answers to your questions, I don't know. People vote for it. Today we had our first conference on the case, conference with the judge and the back. The district attorney provided us with apparently 8 terabytes of discovery.
Good morning, Hammer Nation.
Do you know if he's had any contact with his family? Has he visited?
Any questions about the case and how you did it? Yeah, I'm not representing him on that, so I You want the motion? Well, now that I'm what I'm doing, jail, I was talking about substance. Stop. So, now it's really gearing up to. As long as you want to do this, you're gonna have to talk with her. I can't go out.
You better ask your client why you got 300 guns, man.
This case is a case of the press has convicted my client without seeing his so he doesn't stand a chance of his arrest. We're not going to try to case of arrest. I doubt that anyone in this room will have possibility that they have a wrong out. So what we're going to do is we're going to present this case as well. We just read where we have 12 fair and partial jurors, where we have a fair and partial judge. The words like reduction is slain, and unreasonable doubt, words like that, that's where we're going to try this case. We're not going to try to suppress, we are to defend this case. All I can say is this. There have been hundreds of thousands of things in this case. We have to see them. I know about these things from you folks who have reported these things for the last 10 years, 12 years. So the answer is, they don't look at so I can't sit here and defend DNA, discovery of evidence, things that they claim they have, until I see it. I haven't seen anything. So I'm not gonna, at this point in time, I can't tell you what we if any discovery, any of the evidence we have seen. Where's my client's hoping?
we're going to look into in terms of change of venue. Unfortunately, we don't have the press reporting things to the public. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's skewed. So now you have the people of Suffolk County who are going to sit on the jury. We only hope that they will be fair and partial and they won't be influenced by the members of the press. And we will consider the evidence and decide for themselves.
Your lawyer, hey, Michael Brown, your client is sunk. How are you going to explain that DNA in there, Mr. Michael Brown? Okay, your client's in the water sunk. You know, it just seems to me that if you take it out of Suffolk County, take it out anywhere, somebody's going to take up this case, or you could move it out of Manhattan. Okay, put it somewhere out of New York. If you want to do that, it's not going to happen. You're going to keep it where it is, or put it in Brooklyn. You know. So I just want to know what your view is on this, man. So I'll see y'all later.